What's going on, guys? This is Skyler Davis, owner of Culture Shock Clothing and Records, and I'm back for video number 2 this week because we did a little extra St. Patrick's Day kind of party, vinyl night. Plus, there's just so many releases to talk about and so many great records coming out this week. We had to part it up for 2 separate vinyl happy hour videos. So we're going to give you a little bit of breakdown, talk about some of the limited indie store exclusives, and some special box sets and other things that are coming out right now. So please, if you like what we're doing and enjoy these videos, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, please. That helps us immensely when we're trying to do more with our YouTube. And of course, a lot of these records I'm going to be talking about may be limited or in and out of availability, but we will have a link in the description of the video so you can go purchase them at cultureshockshop.com. And you can choose in-store pickup or we will ship them to you. First, vinyl happy hour, gotta have a little drink, had some last night. This is a brand new whiskey for me. I had heard of it. It's a premium whiskey, 1856 Uncle Nearest. What's really interesting about it, it is different than most whiskeys. This is it an Alabama style? But they do a maple charcoal filtering of it and age it in charred oak barrels. It's 100 proof, which typically can be pretty good. Get not too much of a sting, but that filtering does give it a little bit of a just a more mellow, you know, and I do feel some of that maple coming through. But the other really interesting thing I just want to point out about this is a black tradition, a black made whiskey recipe and black owned company. And that's how it started. And even currently it is still black and minority owned. So that's just really interesting to find some of these craft whiskeys and distilleries that are so interesting like that. So check out your local shops, of course, too. A lot of local distilleries, local liquor shops, and of course your local record stores. So we're all about the local businesses. But right now I want to start out by talking about, well, this is kind of sad. We've lost some musicians here in these last couple of years. As you can see from my shirt, I'm sporting my Soundgarden shirt. Finally, this album is out. It's been teased and leaked. We had a single come out last year from it on Black Friday, I believe, or Record Store Day. Chris Cornell, No One Sings Like You Anymore. This is his covers album, a great complete album of all of his covers. I mean, Nothing Compares to You, and of course, Patience. There's just a great variety of things here. There's a sad little insert to it, a little letter from his wife, and more information on some of the songs. Of course, Chris Cornell in his Soundgarden days and some Audioslave days and stuff put his heart into every song he sang, everything he did, and he always had that kind of wild bluesy sound kind of mixed in. You know, he's putting his heart into every word. And this one definitely has some uppers and downers, but it's kind of interesting to hear him in a little more older state, you know, kind of feeling a little more soulful and a little more even kind of bluesy in some of these songs. But it's a great set of songs. It really doesn't bounce around too hard, so I love the way it's set up. It's a great album. I've been looking forward to this for a while. It's not an indie store exclusive or anything, and who knows if it'll stay in print or not. I feel like a lot of covers albums, that's a hit or miss if it'll be around long, so I wouldn't wait long on that one. But yeah, finally it's out. Like I said, it's been streaming for a while, and I knew I'd be getting a vinyl release, so luckily that did come out. I guess since we're talking about sad stuff since he passed away, we'll just talk about this other one. This is an indie store exclusive. This is Steve Earle and the Dukes, JT, and they did this one on a limited indie store exclusive color vinyl. These are all songs of his son, Justin Townes Earle, who died very young, very tragically here just a few months ago. God, how old was he? I don't even know if he was 30. He was probably 30, 32. Quite young, I know. So these are all some of his songs being done by his father's band, Steve Earle and the Dukes. Of course, a great classic bluesy, home down, you know, country sounding guy. And Justin Townes Earle is even named after, you know, some classic country artists and folk artists. And he had a great voice and a great soul and just some great music too. So the other interesting thing to note about this album is that all of the proceeds, 100%, are actually going to Justin's daughter, Etta St. James. So really cool that they could put together kind of in memory of Justin an album like this. So check that out. And this is available on black vinyl too if this sells out, but we have the indie store exclusive available. Oh, congratulations. Speaking of some great country, Loretta Lynn. This is her 50th album. Go girl, wow. Still woman enough. She's just a great country sweetheart, just a real, you know, she had some rock and country too. She had some real soft melodies too. She's had so many albums and played with so many different artists in the country genre. It's just so cool to see some of these classic artists still recording, still putting out albums, and still working with a lot of big players. You do see that she's doing stuff with some of the not that young, but newer into other people. She does do some stuff with Margot Price on here, really interesting, but some more classics like Reba and Tanya Tucker. I like Tanya and Reba, they just go by one name. Loretta, we're just talking one name, and also Carrie Underwood. But I just thought that was pretty cool that it's her 50th album, brand new album out from Loretta Lynn. And then 50 also, if you didn't watch my video last night, go check that out. We did an extra one, but it's the 50th anniversary of Neil Young's Gold Rush. That's my original copy, but just remind me, there's a 50th anniversary box set out for that. And all from the original analog tapes too. And I think a couple digital singles that were never available on a 7-inch. A new release from Madlib, Sound Ancestors. If you guys haven't checked out Madlib, definitely check it out, especially if you're into great produced album, great DJs, great mixtures of hip-hop, jazz, and other things to compile these amazing albums. Madlib's definitely done some really cool production for other people, and if you're into anything from The Roots to Jay Dilla to different stuff like that, DJ Shadow even, must check that out. I forgot what label this is on. He might even be on his own label now. But just a cool way that he puts his sounds together. We're talking about some reissues too. Like a lot of times there's new vinyl coming out, special limited versions, sometimes special box sets. So just recently here, last month, we got the 30th anniversary of the Black Crowes Shake Your Money Maker, and they did that reproduction, remastered too. It sounds great with like the original artwork, but this 30th anniversary box set, it's got like the artwork from the Jealous Again art that came out. They did like a 12-inch single and a CD single back in the day. But you also get a live concert from Georgia, 1990 in here. Also lots of B-sides, lots of extras. This is a 4-record box set of unreleased material. You also get patch, flyer, tour pass, lots of extra goodies when you get these box sets. And they're also quite affordable actually. So you're getting a lot of extras in a really cool collectible box set. Like I said, if you don't need to go for all that, you just need the album, because 30 years ago, vinyl was very blah, you know, CDs seem to be the thing. So those were really rare to get their albums. So luckily they've been reissued. Speaking of another reissue, here's kind of a fun reissue. Early Blink-182, their very first one, Buddha. Oh, that reminds me of something else. But they're doing this one really limited on tricolor vinyl, and I love how it kind of matches the album cover. You've got the blue fading down to green and yellow. I haven't even gotten a chance to open this one up yet and check it out. But like I said, there's been so much new stuff coming in, and so many new people and new customers getting into vinyl. New production companies, new labels, new bands putting out stuff on vinyl. So it's a lot to keep up with, and getting all sorts of genres of vinyl. So it's been really good. I was saying, you know, talking about the Neil Young Gold Rush, it has been a gold rush of vinyl. And I'm just geeking out. Like every week is Christmas week after week. It's like, I'm so stimulated. My mind's gonna explode. It's so cool. But anyway, this was their very first album. It was like a demo, I guess, of sorts. And they had different artwork on the original demo. But it's just cool to see, you know, Kung Fu Records putting out this early stuff with like these limited color vinyl pressings. I thought that was really cool. Next week we'll talk a little bit more. I'll just give you a hint. Well, there you go. We'll talk about that next week. There is an indie exclusive from them. But we're sold out already, actually. And that one, even though it's been announced months ago, did sell out. A lot of companies are having trouble producing and keeping up enough vinyl, or they're producing enough just for immediate orders, and then they got to move on and press a bunch of other things and get back to it. So we will have a lot of items coming back into stock, which reminds me, I'm going to kind of mention some stuff that is coming back into stock that we were out of for a while. People were gobbling up jazz. I swear, it's been a year ago, I think. Wow, I think it's like exactly a year ago we had to close for a while. Our store did. Every business that was non-essential in Illinois, we closed for like 9 weeks. I think it was March 19th actually, so exactly a year ago. And you know what? The first things that went were a lot of like, just generalized as alternative or new metal, like all my Nirvana, Linkin Park, Pantera, Deftones, stuff like that, Green Day. Well, that stuff, finally, it's been almost a year, and that stuff's finally rolling back into stock. So you're going to see in our staff picks on our website, or even in our new arrivals at the store, tons of that stuff coming back into stock finally. And what was really weird, because I was talking about that gold rush thing, people were selling that stuff for crazy amounts in the resale market, and it was pretty weird. So yeah, like I said, Pantera, this Down album, that's finally back in. a lot of those classics like that. So finally we got them back in. Some of the Green Day too. There is the Insomniac 25th anniversary, which I talked about in my video last night. That's out this week. But my jazz stuff. So besides my new metal, grunge, alternative stuff like that, our jazz stuff took a hit. And wow, that was like the thing that was selling. It was like people had time to chill, be at home, wanted something calming, soothing. Right now, I've been really building up our jazz collection again, finally. There's a lot of time and effort and production that goes into these pressings. Recently, I've been talking a lot about Blue Note, because a lot of Blue Note records and great classic, Herbie Hancock's and, oh God, all these other artists, Donald Byrd, stuff like that, have been getting back in. But there is also some of the Impulse label, which was also had some very influential releases coming out in the, predominantly in the 60s, but... this Oliver Nelson album, The Blues Abstract, you've got Paul Chambers, Eric Dolphy, Bill Evans, Roy Haynes, and Freddie Hubbard. Also a lot of guys who played a lot on the Blue Note albums too. But they are doing some high quality from original analog tape repressings as well. It says original label, original tapes, original sound. So not just Blue Note, but you'll also find that Atlantic Records, Impulse Records, a lot of other Prestige Records had a lot of really great jazz. Of course, some great soul, some blues, and just some other folk and other stuff too. But there's a couple different series. So kind of like the Blue Notes doing their regular analog pressings, and then this Tone Poet series, which is like the extra super duper audiophile, complete analog with extra gatefold. Impulse is doing the same thing too, or Verve, I should say, and Impulse. Because you have these regular ones, and then finally this is back in stock, another great album that stacks up to, this album actually, Blues Abstract, and Kind of Blue, and A Love Supreme, this Ballads album from John Coltrane, also with McCoy Tyner on keys and stuff like that, and Jimmy Garrison and Alvin Jones. So cool. And they actually kind of like that Blue Note series, super glossy jacket. So these are a few bucks less for this. These super analog ones, like these are mostly $25 to $30, and then the super gatefold ones are $35 retail. And the company that pressed these and is doing these though, Complete Analog, they had a series of jazz and other reissue series that was audiophile that was like 75 bucks or 99 bucks. So it's pretty pricey. So luckily they're doing some very affordable ones, but they give you nice gatefold, also Complete Analog, anti-static sleeve. What's really cool about this one, so this started in 2020, this series called the Soundspark? Give me 1 second. Acoustic Sound Series. Oh yeah, that's just all it's called. Yeah, just the Acoustic Sound Series. But anyway, so in 2020, they were scheduled to do all these different albums, and we have about half of them. A few of them actually never came out. I don't know if they're going to. A lot of things probably had to shut down or do some other things. So we will be getting them, so keep an eye out because we are getting a lot of audiophile pressings. There's also some audiophile pressings even in some of the rock and hip-hop world, and also some blues stuff too. We got the John Lee Hooker, but these are doing really nice big vinyl, such great albums. I just played this one today. It sounds so nice. Oh my God. So keep in mind there's a lot of restock coming back in, so keep checking our website or shoot us a message or stopping in the store, because along with tons of all these new releases coming out every week, we are going to be getting some great reissues in as well. And the used vinyl section too. That's just kind of turning over too. So there's a lot of great used collections that we've been unveiling. It's just been a great time for vinyl, like I said. Maybe it's sadly because there's still not a lot to do with live music, things like that. But in the meantime, if you need to get set up with a stereo system or get your record collection built up, now's the time to do it. And because some of these are selling out too. So keep an eye out for that, and definitely keep your ears open. I love to try some different things. Obviously, I love my Black Crowes and Green Day and all the classic stuff, but I love checking out all these new artists. I've been listening a lot to, Julian Baker, New Fleet Foxes, some stuff like that too. So we're going to be talking about some new artists here coming up in the next couple of weeks, and maybe even pop in a couple extra Vinyl Happy Hour videos for you. So thank you so much. Leave your comments, please, with anything you'd like to comment about some of these releases or something that you're listening to or looking forward to. And we will keep doing Vinyl Happy Hour videos. See you next week. Cheers.